That, he said, laughing softly, that is God's greatest kingdom reverse, card in human history. The younger friend nearly jumped out of his chair. Stop. God's greatest kingdom reverse card in human history. You can't be serious. What do you mean? Like the game? The older friend laughed harder. I knew that would get your attention. No, seriously. Explain that right now. The older friend leaned forward. You really want to see how deep this goes? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. The older friend smiled. Then remember this. None of this surprised God. Not Eden, not the serpent, not the fall, not the exile, not the cross. God's kingdom reverse card, his rescue plan for mankind. It was already hidden inside the story. Before mankind even realized they needed rescuing, the younger friend sat frozen. Wait, what? The older friend continued. Do you remember the serpents in the wilderness? The ones biting the Israelites? Yes, and people were dying everywhere. Yes. The younger friend nodded slowly. And what did God instruct Moses to build? The younger friend immediately answered, a bronze serpent, lifted upon a wooden pole. Exactly. The older friend pointed at him excitedly. And whoever looked upon it was healed. Silence. Then suddenly the younger friend's eyes widened. Wait. The older friend nodded. Now say it. The younger friend whispered slowly. Just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up. Friend pointed upward, laughing. There it is. The younger friend suddenly stood up. Oh my God, the Son of Man is Jesus. The older friend laughed. Now you are getting it. The younger friend paced the room, overwhelmed. Then he spoke. Wait. The older friend, intrigued, smiled. What now? If mankind lost access, and if the door was closed, and if the tree of life was no longer accessible, the younger friend frowned. Then how was anyone supposed to get back? Silence. The older friend did not answer immediately. How could mankind return? The younger friend continued. How could access be restored? How could a holy God and fallen humanity ever be reunited? The older friend smiled softly. My friend, from Genesis onward, that became the question. The question, yes. The question hidden beneath every sacrifice, every covenant, every prophet, every promise. The younger friend leaned forward. And the answer? The older friend smiled. The rest of the story is God's answer. The younger friend sat quietly for a moment. Then suddenly he looked up. Wait. The older friend folded his arms. What now? You keep connecting Eden to the middleman hung on a tree. Yes. You keep connecting the tree in Eden to the Roman cross. Yes. You keep connecting access to the middleman hanging beside a thief. Yes. The younger friend frowned. Then the crucifixion was never merely an execution, was it? The older friend shook his head. No. Then what was it? The fulfillment of a promise. Silence. The promise? Yes. The promise spoken in the shadow of Eden. The promise that one day the serpent would be confronted. The promise that one day what was lost would be restored. The younger friend sat completely still. So the cross was not plan B? The older friend answered, no. The cross was always part of the story since the beginning. Silence. Then the younger friend whispered, so while Rome thought they were ending something, God was restoring something? The older friend nodded. Yes. The loss in Eden was being confronted at Calvary. What was closed in the beginning was about to be reopened. The younger friend leaned forward. And that is when the middleman's mission is revealed? The older friend smiled. My friend, that is exactly where the story is about to become unforgettable. Silence. Deep silence. Wait. So is that why you called it God's Kingdom Reverse Card? The older friend grinned. Because think about it. The serpent was cursed in Eden. Yes. And according to the law, anything hung upon a tree was considered cursed. The younger friend froze. Wait. The older friend nodded slowly. So what happens? The symbol of the curse ends up lifted upon wood. The younger friend stared in complete disbelief. No way. The older friend laughed. Yes way. The younger friend grabbed his head. So God literally turned the curse against itself? The older friend smiled deeply. Yes, that is the reversal. That is the divine irony. That is heaven's hidden wisdom. The younger friend whispered. So the thing representing death became the thing through which healing came. Yes, and the cross became the place where the curse was reversed. Silence exploded across the room. Then the older friend continued softly. The serpent brought death through rebellion, but the Son obedience crushed death through. The younger friend's eyes filled with tears. And humanity can now be redeemed through the middleman, Christ the Son of God, the younger friend whispered, shaking his head. By looking toward him. The older friend nodded, and focusing on him. Suddenly both friends stopped, looked at each other, and at the exact same moment they both shouted, "A curse canceled the other curse!" Both friends exploded into laughter. The younger friend could barely breathe. "That is insane." The older friend laughed harder. "No, that is redemption." The younger friend shook his head in amazement. So the enemy thought the cross was victory, but heaven was turning the weapon around. God's greatest kingdom reverse card in human history. The older friend pointed upward, smiling, and the enemy never saw it coming. The younger friend suddenly froze. His eyes widened. His breathing stopped for a moment. "Wait," the older friend raised an eyebrow. "What now?" The younger friend pointed forward in disbelief. "Jesus is the second Adam." The older friend nodded slowly. "Yes, the promised seed of the woman. Yes, the one spoken about in Eden. Yes, the one who would crush the serpent's head. Yes." The younger friend grabbed both sides of his head, laughing in complete amazement. "This is insane." The older friend laughed too. "No, this is the story hidden underneath the story." The younger friend paced the room, overwhelmed. "So from the very beginning, God already had a plan?" "Yes," the older friend said, smiling. "The rescue mission was already moving before mankind even realized they had fallen." The younger walking, and the enemy never fully understood what was happening. Friend stopped. Silence. Then slowly the younger friend began laughing again. "Oh my goodness. Jesus is the biggest undercover operation in human history." The older friend pointed at him, laughing. "There it is." The younger friend could barely contain himself now. The serpent thought he won in Eden. Humanity fell. Death entered. And then thousands of years later, the younger friend's voice lowered dramatically. The very Jesus, the Son of God, enters human history quietly, born in a manger, wrapped in flesh, walking among mankind, allowing himself to be lifted upon wood. The older friend smiled deeply. "And the enemy thought the cross was victory, but it was actually the trap." The older friend nodded. "I told you, the greatest kingdom reversal card in human history." The younger friend laughed loudly. "Oh my goodness, God literally used the enemy's own weapon against him. The serpent introduced death." "Yes." "And Jesus walked directly into death." "Yes." "To destroy it from the inside out." Silence. Deep silence. Then the younger friend whispered softly, "The second Adam succeeded where the first Adam failed." The older friend nodded, and the tree that once represented loss became the tree that restored access. The younger friend sat back down slowly, completely overwhelmed. So the cross was never weakness. No, it was strategy. It was heaven's undercover operation. It was the rescue hidden in plain sight mission. The younger friend shook his head, smiling through tears. And the enemy never saw it coming. The older friend burst into laughter. "And that," he pointed upward, "is why Jesus Christ is the greatest undercover operation in human history." Both friends laughed. Long, hard, joyful laughter. The kind of laughter that happens when truth suddenly becomes too beautiful to stay silent. And somewhere beyond, the garden, the serpent, the tree, the cross, the empty tomb, and the reopened door. The king still stands in the middle, calling humanity home. The older friend suddenly leaned forward. "And wait until I tell you this part." The younger friend almost laughed in disbelief. "You mean there is more?" The older friend nodded slowly. "Oh yes, and this might be the best part yet." The younger friend threw his hands in the air. "How? How can there possibly be something even bigger than the cross, the serpent, the second Adam, the middleman, and paradise reopening?" The older friend leaned forward. "Because the story does not end at the cross. The cross was the reopening. The reopening of what? The way back to the tree of life." The younger friend froze. "Wait," the older friend continued softly. "Do you remember the flaming sword? The one guarding Eden and the cherubim blocking the path after Adam and Eve were expelled?" "Yes," the older friend whispered. "The story of the Bible from that moment forward became the story of the way back." The younger friend sat speechless. "You mean humanity has been trying to return home ever since Eden?" "Yes, and the middleman came to reopen the path." The younger friend's eyes widened. "Wait, now I get it. When you said what began in Genesis stretched forward into Revelation." The older friend smiled. "Now you are seeing the ending." The younger friend whispered slowly. "The tree of life appears again." "Yes." "And paradise returns." "Yes." "And access is restored." "Yes." The older friend opened his hands gently. "The Bible starts with a garden, a tree, a river, and mankind losing access. And it ends with a city, the tree of life, the river of life, and mankind welcomed home again." The younger friend stared in complete awe. "That is impossible." The older friend smiled. "No, that is divine storytelling." Silence filled the room again. Then the older friend spoke softly. "Listen to this." And he read, To everyone who is victorious, I will give fruit from the tree of life in the paradise of God. The younger friend whispered, so the invitation never disappeared. No.